we're making all this fuss. We've got all this sponsorship. We've got all the Ocean FM. We've got all these amazing spot prizes, right? But what if the movie's crap, Paddy?
At eclipsecinemas.com.
Yes, indeed. It is that time in the afternoon on a Thursday. Is it afternoon? Is it evening? Collie, when do we get to evening?
I feel after 6. I feel it's
Oh,
still afternoon.
okay,
in
fair
Ireland
enough.
in the summertime, because I know technically it's still the spring, but I'm calling it summer. It's sunny in Bundoran.
Yeah.
It's summertime, because summertime mightn't last. So
Exactly.
it's definitely afternoon. I think it's still afternoon.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Great to chat to you. It's been a while since I spoke to you.
It's been a while. You're looking well now, to the point that
you.
I'm a bit suspicious you might have the Zoom filters on there, Paddy.
I tell you, when I was joining, it said beauty filter. I was like, put that up a few notches there.
There's a pair of us in it, but no, it's great to be here, and thanks for stepping in, Seamie, who's off. Speaking of beauty, I presume that's where he's getting, because we've got a big night on Wednesday, and I suppose he's off getting, a few touch-ups, shall we say? A little bit,
Yeah.
a few nips, a few tucks here, because he's going to be all dressed up for Wednesday night.
That's right. Like, it doesn't take them too long to do his hair, but his makeup now. I think he went into pre-makeup there maybe about a week ago. So
well, that's it. There's a lot of filler to be done. My own hair, it's just a quick polish and we're grand. But yes, we're all very excited. I may as well mention it that we're very excited about the Ocean FM gala screening of the movie If. And it's been on my mind a lot today, not only because, look, the ticket sales have been flying in, which is great to see, right from Sligo up to Donegal town, all around. Because I think, look, maybe, it's fair to say 2024 is a divisive time, but one thing everyone can agree on, the people who work for the RNLI, Saving Lives at Sea, are great. And it's a charity everyone, I think, believes in. And because, in my part of the world, most of us, rely on tourism. To even think it as simple as that, guaranteeing that, how much safer we all are. It's great. But here's the thing, Paddy. I was really nervous today about this event. I know what you're thinking. Is it the string quartet? Is it that Seamie might drink all the Prosecco? It's none of that. I got to watch the movie today, and all I could think of is, we're making all this fuss. We've got all this sponsorship. We've got all the Ocean FM. We've got all these amazing spot prizes, right? But what if the movie's crap, Paddy? I hadn't seen the movie yet. What if the movie's crap? So we'll play the clip.
Yeah.
And then I'll let you know if you're coming down on Wednesday to bring extra Prosecco or not. Okay?
Yeah, exactly. All right. Here is a snippet from the trailer.
Are any of them scary?
Worse. Desperate.
Question: why did these kids forget about us in the first place?
Last week, I just started falling apart. Oh.
You're sucking the oxygen out of the room.
Honestly, Doc, if this is how it's going to be, I'm just going to wheel myself back and plug in.
That seems class, in fairness now.
I have to say, it's a great clip to pick, because I didn't know what clip you were going to show. And look, that shows the array of voices. I would actually say part of the fun with this is, don't look up who voices all of the different ifs, the imaginary friends, because it's quite fun at the end to go, I was right. Wow. And there's one really good, silly joke in the credits about famous celebs being the stars. So, yes, it's set up there nicely. So, imaginary friends are your ifs. But what happens, and it was kind of something touched upon in Inside Out, if anyone thought, what happens when you grow up and you forget your imaginary friend? And I have a feeling John Krasinski, the husband of Emily Blunt, who wrote, A Quiet Place, this is a very different movie to Quiet Place, got the inspiration from that without knowing it. And that's what if they grow up. And this little girl who's going through a tough time, her mum's passed away, her dad's not well either. And she starts seeing these ifs again. She starts seeing, and all of them are sad because their little boys and girls have forgotten them. And she tries to set up a sort of matching agency for new ones. But in it, she has to visit the retirement home from ifs. And that's where some of the best laughs. Some of the imagination, Paddy, is great. And look, I kind of feel I've spoiled my little tease into it all. It is really good. Now it starts off, I was going, oh, is this a bit like American sentimental? Like, it's nice, but it's a bit too sentimental. Yeah. And then the laugh started. And then, Paddy, I won't lie to you, there were a few tears. There were a few tears because it's so lovely and sweet. And Ryan Reynolds is great at this. People watch him, whether you're watching him in Welcome to Wrexham or, the sort of more 16 side of him with Deadpool. He is naturally funny. He's got a good comic persona. And you believe him as this kind of grumpy, but actually lovable guy. Like, he is perfect for it.
Yeah, I have to say I'm a huge Ryan Reynolds fan. Like anytime I see him in a movie, I'm like, okay, yeah, no, we have to watch that. It's
So,
going to be brilliant.
like, he's always good. Even, let's face it, he's been in some stinkers of movies. He's been pretty good in all of them.
Yeah.
He's a young fella. And he's just the perfect foil for this. You believe him as he's given out to a giant gummy bear for farting. Like, you believe all this.
We've all been there.
Yeah, we are. It's very sweet natured and saccharine, and it is, the music soars every time to say, oh, this is how you're supposed to feel. And as I said, at first I was kind of being all Irish and resistant, going, oh yeah, you Yanks, this might affect you. And then next thing I'm the girl.
Now, I have to
sweet.
say, if there's anyone that is out there and they're like, why is it called If? Now, I know it's not as obvious as it seems, because when I heard some interviews of this being done in the car, and I was like, why is it being called If? Why is it being called If? Like, the film about imaginary friends. Why they call it If? Is it if something happened? It took me a while to cop the letters.
I'm going to pretend you hadn't seen the poster, right? But
They
are the imaginary friends. And you know why? I think that's a very good reason to have it for our fundraiser, because, as I said last week, imaginary friends for the best friends you might have if you're ever stuck out on the ocean. And it is that sort of, if we all come together and we work together, sort of film. I think you'll really enjoy this. I didn't know beforehand you were a bit of a Ryan Reynolds fan. I really think you'll enjoy it. Like, this is, and I mean this as a compliment, this is easy stuff for him. He's in the zone doing this. One-liners, weird characters, gets to be sarcastic and lovable at the same time. Bada bing, bada boom. It's really good fun. And, the creatures themselves, whoever imagined them, it's really clever. And of course, some of them are horrifying. And there's one that's really good. There's basically a glass of water with an ice cube in it, who's just so annoyed that he's a glass of water with an ice cube in it when there's all these cool monsters around him. Is just really funny. I think people are going to enjoy it. And it does open this weekend. You don't have to wait to Wednesday, but you come twice. Come and give your money to RNLI. Come twice.
And what's it rated? If you're thinking of you want to go
PG.
along,
it's PG.
Perfect.
There might be a couple of moments that would be like, some of the guys, none of them are scary, but some of them look scary at first. For very young kids. And there's a few bits, because of course there's some sad stories because our mum has passed away, and so there's a few things like that. But it's not even just PG. It's very much on the softer side of PG. So I'd say it was very close to be the general cert. So something for literally one of those for all the family. Everyone's going to enjoy this one. And also, Tina Turner is Better Be Good to Me is all the way through it, which is a banger. I'd forgotten how good it is. It's a banger of a song, and you're going to start getting requests for it after people have seen it. They're all going to be texting in.
I was going to say, if people are wondering about the fundraiser itself, just give a little bit more info on that. So obviously, as Collie's mentioned, it's a fundraiser for the RNLI, for the lifeboats. As somebody that is, I swear, in a former life, I was a mermaid because I just live in the water. I love being out of it. Every time, like, I see a lifeboat or any of our kind of first responders out there, I'd always think how lucky we are that we have them there and the support that they need kind of to keep doing what they're doing. So the event is on next Wednesday. It kicks off at 7.
It kicks off at 7. I suppose officially it starts when Seamie's going to be broadcasting live from the cinema at 4 o'clock. But the event itself starts at 7. You can get the tickets on Eventbrite. If you just search for Ocean FM, go to eventbrite.ie. Or any companies or anything like that who want to buy bulk of tickets, if they contact either the RNLI or us. And the thing is, it's 200 years of the RNLI, but they're 30 years saving lives in Bundoran. And the money will go, all the proceeds, or I think the Eventbrite have a slight charge, but everything else is being donated for free, and everything goes to the RNLI here in Donegal. It goes local. So it is great. And so anyone could come last minute, anything like that, but drop a line to the cinema or the station, or particularly Oceanbright, eventbrite.ie, and search Ocean FM, and you will find your tickets there. And if not, ask your Uncle Collie. He'll look after you.
Yeah, I'm really looking for it. I got my ticket yesterday and I can't wait to go down, because I love the cinema. It's just class. Cinema's class together. But also to be able to support something that is very close to my heart, I'd say, just as somebody that does be in the sea a lot. And then for a film, this is brilliant. And there's popcorn and a red carpet, and like, what more could you want?
Tick, tick, tick. You're going to spend about the same as you would spend if you had just had a big night out at the cinema, and you get to give all that money to the charity.
Exactly.
So you win. You get a good night out, And you get to feel superior to everyone else who couldn't be bothered. So
Yeah, exactly. Now, some of the other movies as well, we have The Strangers and
Yeah.
Garfield.
So I haven't seen either of these yet. The Strangers looks like fun. It's one of those. The plot really probably won't matter a whole lot. These people are in a cabin. Load of people turn up in masks and creep everyone out. And it's that thing that's most creepy. A grown adult wearing a sort of a child's mask with his is always weird.
I love those things that could almost be real.
Yeah.
It just scares the bejesus
It is
out of
one
me.
of those, or certainly the trailer starts off that way, and it's very clever. They've sent a great trailer out of the creatures, or whatever they are, in the mask in a cinema. And you're just going, and it's the CCTV, and you go, that's clever. So that's fun. And because, as much as I loved If, it's not for everyone. This is for, teenagers and popcorn and people who like a silly, fun, scary horror. That's out this weekend. It opens tomorrow. It's the 16s, and it looks like good fun. And it's called The Strangers. Nice. Not everyone likes the sunshine. There'll be some people who just want a dark, creepy movie this weekend, and that's
that's definitely my vibe as well. Now, if we could get Ryan Reynolds into one of those movies, there's like mega boxes ticked.
Ryan Reynolds is the budget of this movie alone. Also, the other thing I love about both these movies, actually, they're only about an hour and 25 minutes. Bang, get in, get out, lovely.
Yeah. And Garfield, of course, like a character that we know from like growing up, children, so many kind of different iterations of Garfield, the movies and the cartoons and the comic strips and all that kind of stuff. I have a little clip that I will give us a little snippet off as well.
You hungry, little guy?
And that sounds exactly like my spirit animal.
Okay, fair enough. It's funny you should say that, because I always thought when they made a couple of movies a good few years ago now, when they had Bill Murray as the voice of Garfield, and it was very much kind of older Garfield that we know from the comic strip, it's kind of fed up and hate Mondays and all that. Bill Murray's voice was perfect. And I kind of thought, I don't know, Chris Pratt's very good in Guardians of the Galaxy and all that sort of stuff, but maybe not the thing. And first of all, I saw the posters and went, oh, they seem to have nailed this. And then I saw the clip and went, yeah, I think we're in safe hands. And I think this is kind of the story of how Jim and everyone got to, they joined the family and all that sort of stuff. And again, it looks like it'll have the cute animals running around and falling over things for the kids. And just that sort of ennui that Garfield always brought for the adults as well, isn't there? The sort of the rolling the eyes at the silly dog, all that sort of stuff. It looks like really good crack. Now, this doesn't actually open till next week, but they're doing special previews Saturday and Sunday. So it's Saturday and Sunday only, and we'll give it the full proper review next week. But I'm looking forward to it. It looks fun, doesn't it?
Yeah, I watched as a cat lover, even the first, I'd say 20-30 seconds of the trailer was like pulling on my heartstrings. I was like, I want to adopt that cat. It's like I'm in like 9 million feral cats groups like that need rescuing. And every time I see one, I'm like, could I get that cat? Could I sneak that cat into the house somehow tonight? And that's the vibes I was getting from the start. Like, so yeah, that kind of how Garfield came to
the
be.
The movies this week are made for you, because there is also let's just say there's a character in If that you're going to love as well.
God.
It's one of the retired Ifs in the old retired home that's going to appeal to you. I'm not going to say any more than that, but you're going to really enjoy that. And well, that's great. It does look good. And, just the bit in the pizzeria at the start and the clip that you're talking about, it's just lovely.
Yeah.
And it seems like, look, they've put a bit of love into this and they put a bit of effort into the script. It doesn't take a lot to make a fun family movie. People want to go and have a good time in the cinema. It's a little bit of effort. And it looks, fingers crossed, we've got 2 good ones this weekend. And then, for as I said, when you're someone who goes, I don't want anything cutesy, I want to get the bejesus scared out of me. We've got Strangers as well. Yeah.
And then finally we have Misted Monday as well.
Oh, I nearly forgot. I'm glad you brought that up, because it was this is one of my favorites that came out this year, and it was a bit swamped because there was a load of big releases around it, and it has a terrible title. It is the movie Baltimore, which is the story of Rose Dugan, which is really interesting, who was an English heiress who joined the RA, basically. She very much a socialist Marxist, and she went and joined the Republicans in the 70s. It was involved in a big incident in Strabane, and then famously in an art heist, to raise money and to free prisoners. And it's such a good story. Now, in other territories, it's called Rosie's War, which isn't great, but I think it's a better title because loads of people said to me, Irish people said, Baltimore, why is it set in America? And you go, no, Baltimore, County Cork. That's where the safe house is. But it's a really interesting movie. It's really clever. They obviously don't have much of a budget, so they've concentrated on good actors and a good story, and it's all set in the house. I thought this was brilliant. I didn't really know her story at all. She only died a couple of weeks ago, just as the movie came out. I didn't really know her story at all. Older people will. Either way, it's a fascinating story, and it got rave reviews from everyone who came to see it. But not that many people got to see it because it was around big releases. So I'm delighted. It's there again on Monday, and it's only a £5, Paddy. You can't go wrong with that.
Brilliant, Collie. Look, thank you so much. Look forward to seeing you on Wednesday, Collie.
We'll all be dickied up. I'm looking forward to it, Paddy.
Yes, indeed. And you'll be back with Seamie next Thursday again as well.
Yeah. I'll keep an extra special seat for you. Don't worry.
Thanks a million. And just to give you a quick reminder as well before we head for news at 6 in relation to that fundraiser, it is on next Wednesday, as we were saying. Seamie is going to be broadcasting live from Eclipse Cinemas in Bundoran. If you go on to Eventbrite and just look for Ocean FM, you'll find there where you can get your tickets and say, great cause, great movie down at Eclipse.
Ocean FM.